Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go over some fun. We're just going to have fun here. This is just my financial messing around. Please don't use it as advice or anything like that. We're just playing with numbers, okay? We're going to look at Fibonacci retracements and Fibonacci extension lines on some of these charts to maybe gauge where things could go. And really what we're looking at is the bounce. What kind of bounce? What can we learn from pullbacks too, where some of these companies pull back? How far do they pull back? Where would be a good buying point? Stuff like that. And I'm just going to play around with some numbers. Does not mean it's price projections. Doesn't mean that they're going to be right. They very well could be understated. They could be overstated. We're just playing with numbers so you guys can learn how to maybe use the tool and also maybe what companies might lead you to further research, put it that way. So let's dive in here. I've got Thesis metals up right now. What I have up here is a Fibonacci. Here, let's do this together. If I can delete it, come on. There we go. So I'm in TradingView. It's tradingview.com. I have an account with them. I'm looking at FOSYF. That's our ticker symbol. If I were to click on this one with a bunch of little bars here and I open it, it's a Fib retracement, Fibonacci retracement. And what that is, it's a calculation if you were to take from the bottom to the top. And we're going to go to this first one because that's really, I think, where the first kind of move ends. And what this is I'm kind of adding in the Elliott wave type movements, like a breakout. So it's a first wave, a third wave, and then a fifth wave. And then we kind of go into this long consolidation period. Then we start it over, and I think this is a new one coming. So what we're looking at is how far did Thesis metals pull back, and where did it find support given the Fibonacci retracement levels? The Fibonacci retracements from this to this is a full, we'll call it 1. It's a unit of measure of 1. Then we go down a certain percentage. The first one is 0.236, 0.382, 0.5, 0.618, 0.786, and then the full 100% retracement. And if you notice, we are finding some support at the 50 percentile, where the move from the top to this bottom here is 50% pullback. So from this move, if this is 1 from the bottom to the top, 50% pullback is where this line going across is. It's this line right here, 50 percentile. We bounced off of it, we ran up, came up here, and then we bounced off it again. And I was a buyer down here off close to this 50 percentile retracement. I figured it hit it enough, it was probably strong, and I bought some Thesis and beefed up my position. So you can use the Fibonacci retracement levels as potential buy points for some of these companies. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't mean that it automatically bounces off the 50th percentile, but the ones that get a lot of use is the 50th percentile, the 0.618, and the 0.786. Those seem to be used a lot, especially in very volatile companies. Now, let's say we want to reverse this. So I don't want to know necessarily the retracement, but I want to see how far this could go up. So we're going to do a trend-based fib extension. So based off of this first move, we are going to guess roughly how much it's going to go up. And if it were to go up, we're going off the bottom here, and we kind of move on up. A 1.618 puts us at $1.77 from 71 cents. Another move, if we go up above that, puts us at $2.6. And then if we go to the one above that, 3.618, that's $3.4. So I would say the 1.618 and 2.618 are probably pretty good bets. There are times where it goes all the way to the 4 point whatever in under certain conditions. That's at about $3.9. I don't know exactly where it's going to go, but that what I want you to get out of here is these are projections based off of a Fibonacci movement, which is found all over the world. It is based off this first bottom to top move. It's the bounce that this had that then projects upward how much it could potentially go. It's just saying that the leverage to uranium, you could maybe say that Forces Metals leverage to uranium produced the numbers and the projections that it could potentially have. So it's a way to kind of see, well, you know, what are some other companies? What is the bounce of this thing? So if that was that move, and we could easily get a 300, 400, 500% gain, gain in it. What about a company like Bannerman? You know, what would that put out? And let's use, let's try projecting the move of this first move. The first move was basically from here to here, and let's see what that move actually came out to be. So if we were to go here, it almost hit the 1.618 from using this projection from bottom to top, and I went all the way to the peak of the little wick, came down to the bottom here, and a 1.618 projected just above where it or it was just below that. So, I mean, this projection is pretty close. And a 0.718, there was a couple of areas that were sticking around there, and the retracement. Let's look at the retracement of this guy here. The retracement on Bannerman. If I'm just going to use the bottom to top of this guy here. The retracement. If we go all the way to the bottom here, it hit at the 0.236 level here. So it retraced, it bounced off that 0.382, came all the way down, and then we found support, and now we're moving higher. So that it did bounce on this support areas a few times. So it does work pretty dang well. Let's look at some other ones. And I don't know what projection here, if we were to do a projection on Bannerman, I'm going to use the entire move here. So I'm going to go bottom to top, and I'm going to say that that was kind of one big move. And I'm just doing this for fun, guys. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't want to break anyone's heart here, but it's got a move of 63 cents there, and then 94 cents if it's 2.618. So 62 cents and 94, 95 cents. And I'm not claiming that's where it's going to go. We're just playing with numbers. But this thing sure looks good breaking out of this and probably moving on higher here at any second. Another one that's got a lot of pop. I'm trying to think of their chart patterns too. We can do something like a Denison Mines. I know a lot of people own that one. So let me go out here. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right. So let's say that this was one big move. We're going to do a trend-based fib extension, first wave, third wave, and then a fifth wave. I'm going to put it to this top right here because that's, I think, where it is. And then it had an overextended move on a pullback here. So if we take that, move on up, we are at $1.80. The 1.618 is at 367, and then the 2.618 is 531. So that's something that we could see is somewhere between these two. And again, guys, sometimes they go all the way to the top. You never know, 7.89. But I'm not projecting. I'm just kind of throwing out numbers, seeing what's going on, seeing what the numbers could potentially be. I know a lot of people own UUUU. If I can, there we go. It's right here. UUUU. So this is the bottom, first, third, and then the fifth. And then I think it came down and did an extension there. So I think it's probably the end of that guy. So let's turn it on. I'm going to do it here. Wow, this thing goes up there. 1780, something like that for 1.618, and then $25. It's a possibility, guys. That's a big move. It's not huge, but it's looking pretty good. And obviously, guys, it can go higher than that. I'm just throwing out projections here. Encore Energy, this thing's got some, I think, some pretty good pop here. Let's try this guy. For Encore Energy, we do the bottom, and then I think I'm going to go to the top here because it's pretty close to that. Now, if we go to a 1.618, we're getting 370. So that's a pretty good move there. We go to 2.618, we go to about 540. And that's if we get some juice in this squeeze. So that's a pretty good move if we can attain that. Another one, what's got some like massive juice in it. Lightbridge doesn't have that same type of movement. LEU might. That one had a pretty good movement, and it's moved quite dramatically. So let's try this one on LEU, because this thing could be pretty ridiculous. And I did pick some up in my shares, or in the donations portfolio. I did it because this thing looks like it's got some pop. So we're at like, what, 49 bucks? And then this is projected, it could go to 176. And then 2.618 is at 260. That's a big move. That's got some juice if it were to do that type of move. And remember, I don't know if it's going to have that. These are just me playing with numbers. LEU, I don't know if they make money if the price of uranium goes up. They are a Centrus Energy engages in the supply of nuclear fuel and services for the nuclear power industry. It operates through the low-enriched uranium and technical solutions segment. So it does look like it's probably tied to it, but this could have a big move as well. Just playing with numbers, guys. I'm not saying that's where it's going to go. Let's try ISO Energy. This thing's been, it seems to be one of the most volatile companies. And there's the bottom about there. So we're at $4.28. The 1.618 is at 10.70, and then the 2.618 is at $15. So yeah, it's got some good juice left in this. Good juice to squeeze left in it. If it were to do that. Looking at going deep with deep yellow. Yeah, we'll go to the top here. Remember, guys, I'm not like the best of all this, so we're just having fun. Deep yellow, 1.618, $1, $2 basically, and then the 2.618 is about $3, and it's at 71 cents. That's if we get some good moves here. If it were to happen, I'm not saying it will. Global Atomic. Let's look at this guy. This guy. Oh wow, this has got some. It's got some moves in it. We'll go from bottom to top, and then here, and I bet you it's a pretty big move. So we're at 380. 1.618 of that big move. The entire move is 8.63, and then about $12 if I'm doing this correct. And that's that guy there. What's kind of cool here is I see, I mean, we're basically making a new high here. This thing's ready to rip, guys. It's ready to go, I think. Wow, it's pretty crazy. Looking at some of these other ones, Lotus Resources. I know that one had a pretty big move. Let's see what that thing's got in it. So bottom to top, coming on back. It's about there. We're at what, 25 cents. We've got 48 cents for 1.618 and 2.618. It's about 68 cents. If you were to use this as the move up. So what I'm saying is that this move here is determining the next move that's coming. It's how much bounce. Uroy's got a pretty big. Let's try Uroy here. We'll go from bottom to top. Nice big pullback here. This is one that I kind of loaded in. 4.71 is where we're at right now. 1.618 puts us at $11. And then 2.618 puts us at $16. And I don't know where this is going. I mean, it could blow past these. That's just kind of what the numbers are. Looking at, let's see what else you guys have. Let's see if there's anything that's big. Trying to think if there's any. Laramide. Let's try Laramide just for the heck of it. We'll go from the bottom in March of 2020 there, and then we've got the pullback. So 1.618 puts us at $1.75, and then 2.618 puts us at about 260. And that's a pretty good gain there. If it were to go for a third leg higher, if we consider that to be the first leg, and then we had a pullback. And I'm just playing with numbers, guys. Doesn't mean that these numbers are necessarily correct. Doesn't mean that this is accurate. I don't want you to base your investments off of what I just did here. But we are just playing with numbers. We're trying to see, what the possibility could be, what it looks like. And if you use, and we'll do the fib retracement here real quick. We'll do it on this one and see what it did. Let me do the 5-year auto. There we go. What I'm going to do is go from the bottom of 2020 to the top. And we were finding support at the 0.618 area. Right here is where it touched. So 0.618 is a really, 0.5 is good, and 0.618 and 0.786. I usually find things to bottom around that time, around that type of pullback. We'll do another one here for fib retracement. We'll do it on DNN. So DNN, I'll click this guy. We'll go from the bottom to the top. And that bottomed at 0.5. So 0.5 is where it found a nice, good little bottom here, just under 0.5, and then we started moving higher. So 0.5, 0.618, and 0.786 are the ones that I usually see. You can see that on the move up, they paused and re-hit the 0.786. Came on up and was bouncing off the 0.618. Came on up and then bounced off this guy here. And it moved in that stair-step type pattern. And as we go up, we're blowing through all these resistance areas quite easily. So that's good. Good to see that. So I just wanted to go through this, kind of have some fun, and see where things are going, see where you could do potential pullbacks and buy points. And we can do that real time with some of the companies as I go through with them. It just takes a little bit longer than just me kind of looking, seeing where we could find potential buy points. But overall, the uranium sector looks really good. I think we may continue higher. It looks really nice. Give me a thumbs up for the content, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.